Have you ever wondered what it takes to turn a life around? This heartwarming story shows the power of community in helping a homeless veteran find hope and a fresh start. John woke up to the sound of birds chirping in the city park. The bench he had slept on was hard and uncomfortable, but it was better than the cold ground. He rubbed his eyes and looked around, hoping to find some leftover food in the nearby trash cans. His stomach growled, reminding him that he hadn't eaten a proper meal in days. As he walked through the park, he saw families enjoying picnics and children playing. He felt a pang of sadness, remembering his own family and the life he had before the war. But he pushed those thoughts aside and focused on surviving another day. John had served his country with honor, but when he returned home, he found it hard to adjust. He struggled with PTSD and couldn't hold down a job. Eventually, he lost his home and ended up on the streets. Every day was a battle. Finding food, staying warm, and avoiding danger were constant challenges. But despite everything, John never gave up. He held on to the hope that one day things would get better. John had been living on the streets for over a year. He had tried to find work, but his PTSD made it difficult to hold down a job. He had nightmares and flashbacks that would often leave him feeling anxious and on edge. He had lost touch with his family, who lived in another state. He was too ashamed to reach out to them and tell them about his situation. Every day, he would wake up early and try to find food. Sometimes, he would go to a local soup kitchen, but the lines were long and the food was often gone by the time he got there. He would spend his days walking around the city, looking for odd jobs or ways to make a little money. Sometimes, he would collect cans and bottles to recycle for cash. At night, he would try to find a safe place to sleep. The park bench was his usual spot, but it was not always safe. He had been robbed and beaten up a few times, which made him wary of strangers. Despite all this, John never lost his sense of dignity. He always tried to keep himself clean and presentable, even though it was hard without access to regular showers or laundry facilities. He held on to the hope that one day he would find a way out of this situation. He dreamed of having a home again, a job, and a chance to rebuild his life. Have you ever felt alone and hopeless, like John? It's a feeling that can be overwhelming, but as we'll see, even in the darkest times, there is always a glimmer of hope. One day, as John was sitting on his usual bench, a woman approached him. She had a kind smile and a bag of groceries in her hand. "Hi, I'm Mary," she said. "I see you here often. Would you like some food?" John was taken aback by her kindness. He nodded gratefully and accepted the bag. As they talked, Mary learned about John's service in the military and how he had fallen on hard times after returning home. "I'm so sorry to hear that," Mary said. "You deserve better. Let me see if I can help you in some way." Mary sat down next to John on the bench. "So, tell me about yourself," she said. John hesitated at first, but Mary's genuine interest made him open up. He told her about his time in the military, the friends he had lost, and the struggles he faced after coming home. Mary listened attentively, her eyes filled with compassion. "That sounds really tough," she said. "I can't imagine what you've been through." John nodded. "It's been hard, but I'm trying to make the best of it." Mary thought for a moment. "You know, there are resources available for veterans like you. Have you tried reaching out to any organizations?" John shook his head. "I don't know where to start, and honestly, I'm a bit embarrassed to ask for help." Mary smiled. "There's no shame in asking for help. Everyone needs a hand sometimes. Let me see what I can do." She took out her phone and started making some calls. Within a few hours, she had connected John with a local veterans support group that offered counseling and job placement services. John was amazed at how quickly things were moving. "Thank you so much, Mary. I don't know what to say." Mary patted his shoulder. "You don't have to say anything. Just know that you're not alone." What would you do if you saw someone like John in your community? Sometimes a simple act of kindness can make all the difference. Mary's act of kindness inspired others in the community to help John. A local restaurant owner offered to provide him with free meals. A clothing store donated warm clothes and blankets. A veterans organization reached out to offer counseling and job training. Soon, the whole community was involved. They organized a fundraiser to help John find a place to live. People donated money, time, and resources to support him. The news of John's situation spread quickly through the community. People were moved by his story and wanted to help. A local church organized a food drive, collecting canned goods and non-perishable items for John and other homeless individuals. A group of volunteers started a crowdfunding campaign to raise money for John's housing and medical expenses. Local businesses got involved too. A hardware store offered John a part-time job, and a real estate agent helped him find an affordable apartment. Even children in the community wanted to help. A group of school kids made care packages with toiletries and snacks and delivered them to John. John was touched by the kindness of strangers. He had never expected such an outpouring of support. One day, as he was walking through the park, a man approached him. "Are you John?" he asked. John nodded. "Yes, I am." The man smiled. "I'm a veteran too. I heard about your story, and I just wanted to say that I'm here for you. If you ever need someone to talk to, I'm just a phone call away." John felt a lump in his throat. "Thank you. That means a lot to me." How does it feel to know that your actions can change someone's life? The power of community is truly remarkable. With the help of the community, John was able to find a small apartment to live in. He started attending job training programs and eventually found a job at a local hardware store. He also reconnected with his estranged family, who were overjoyed to see him getting back on his feet. With a roof over his head and a steady job, John started to feel like himself again. He attended therapy sessions to help with his PTSD and began to heal from his past traumas. He also started volunteering at the local veterans center, helping other veterans who were struggling like he had been. One day, he decided to reach out to his family. He wrote them a letter explaining his situation and how he was working to improve his life. To his surprise, his family responded with love and support. They were happy to hear from him and eager to reconnect. John's sister even came to visit him, and they spent hours catching up and reminiscing about old times. For the first time in years, John felt like he belonged somewhere. He had a community that cared about him, a job that gave him purpose, and a family that loved him. He knew that he still had a long way to go, but he was grateful for the progress he had made. Can you imagine the joy of getting a second chance? It's a feeling of hope and possibility that can transform a person's life. John's story is a testament to the power of community and kindness. It shows that even small acts of compassion can have a profound impact on someone's life. If you're inspired by John's story, consider getting involved in your local community. You can volunteer at a homeless shelter, donate to organizations that support veterans, or advocate for policies that provide better resources for those in need. If John's story has touched your heart, here are some ways you can make a difference. Volunteer at a local homeless shelter or veterans organization. Donate to charities that support veterans and homeless individuals. Advocate for policies that provide better resources and support for veterans. Simply be kind to those you encounter. A smile or a kind word can go a long way. Remember, change starts with each one of us. By coming together as a community, we can create a world where everyone has a chance to thrive. What can you do today to make a difference in someone's life? Take that first step, and you'll be amazed at the impact you can have. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to The Kind Story for more heartwarming tales of compassion and community. Disclaimer: this story is an original work for The Kind Story, created by human writers with AI assistance for formatting or narration. It reflects real-life inspired emotions and adheres to YouTube's community guidelines and monetization policies.